Today we observe India at 50, if you remember, emergency, echoes of a silenced republic. It was the night India lost its voice. 50 years ago, on 25th June 1975, then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi declared a state of emergency, plunging the world's largest democracy into a silence not caused by any war or foreign invasion, but by its own elected government. Today, we don't just remember it as a political event, we remember as a mirror, a warning, a test of what happens when power oversteps the constitution. So, why was the emergency declared? What happened during those 21 months? And can we dare ask, could it happen again dressed in a new uniform? Is it possible in today's India? What triggered the emergency? Indira Gandhi was at the height of her popularity after the 1971 India-Pakistan war, which created Bangladesh. But her popularity masked a deep political crisis at home. On June 12, 1975, the Allahabad court found Indira Gandhi guilty of electoral malpractice, misusing government machinery during her 1971 election win. The court disqualified her as an MP and barred her from contesting elections for 6 years. That ruling could have cost her the Prime Minister's seat. But what followed? What followed wasn't her resignation. It was retaliation. The official reason versus the real one. Officially, the emergency was imposed due to internal disturbance. Remember, officially, it was due to internal disturbance. Unofficially, it was a preemptive strike against a rising people's movement led by Jayaprakash Narayan, popularly known as JP. He had called for total revolution. But it was a revolution, but it was peaceful, but powerful civil disobedience against corruption and authoritarianism. Millions joined this protest. There were students, there were workers, even some civil servants. Indira Gandhi feared the wave. She could see that coming and decided to shut it down. So, what was life under emergency? That is 1975 to 1977. If we see, democracy was suspended, civil liberties were revoked, parliament became a rubber stamp, and press censorship. Newspapers were forced to get clearance before publishing. Headlines were blacked out. There were mass arrests. Over 1 lakh political opponents, journalists, activists were jailed without trial under MISA. What is MISA? Maintenance of Internal Security Act. There was forced sterilization. Sanjay Gandhi's population control drive led to millions of poor men being sterilized. Many were coerced and others tricked. There were slum demolitions. In Delhi and other cities, bulldozers razed poor settlements to the ground overnight. It was a terrible scenario. The emergency was the darkest chapter in India's democratic history. And this was stated by L.K. Advani. How did India react and recover? For a while, fear kept people quiet, but not for long. In 1977, confident of her control, Indira Gandhi called for elections. Quite confident. The people responded. The Congress party was defeated for the first time since independence. Indira Gandhi and Sanjay Gandhi lost their seats. The opposition formed the Janata Party government, a motley alliance but united by one goal, that's never again. The emergency was lifted. Political prisoners were released. Press freedom was restored. The constitution was amended to prevent such unilateral declarations of emergency again. And the consequences then and now? Let's see the consequences then and let's compare it to the present. Now, political trust in the Congress party was permanently damaged. Rise of regional parties and stronger opposition blocs could be seen. And legal institutional 44th Constitutional Amendment 1978. It was then emergency. It was said that emergency can no longer be declared for internal disturbance. It was only for armed rebellion. Safeguards were added to prevent arbitrary suspension of rights. If we look at the social aspects, collective trauma. There was a collective trauma. A generation that learned to fear silence. Newfound value in dissent, student activism, and press vigilance. 50 years later, are we safe or just sleepwalking? The emergency lasted 21 months. Its impacts lasted for decades. But here's the questions that sometimes may haunt us. What if a new kind of emergency is already here, just without the declaration? And if we compare it with the present day India, then press was censored by government orders. And what about today? Now, press may self-censor due to corporate ownership. Yes, corporate ownership, political fear, or trolling armies. Then, political opponents were jailed under MISA. And now, critics can be arrested under UAPA sedition laws or anti-terror laws. Then, during those times, civil liberties were suspended on paper. Now, civil liberties are challenged in practice. There we can see internet shutdowns, protest bans, surveillance, so much. Then, Sanjay Gandhi led a sterilization campaign. And now, politicians still make demographic control a dog. And we ask, have we only moved forward in form, not in freedom? Is the spirit of democracy alive or only the ritual? Do we celebrate the Constitution or sidestep it? Are today's political institutions truly independent or subtly infiltrated? History doesn't repeat itself, they say. It rhymes. On this 50th anniversary of India's emergency, let's not just remember the past. Let's inspect the present, because democracies don't die overnight. They are often dismantled in the daylight, one small silence at a time. Never forget this and keep watching The Global Eye.